स्पीकर हमेशा ऐसे रहता है। स्पीकर हमेशा ऐसे रहता है। जाओ ना। You're sitting. Yes. Why is that speaker on the screen?
I don't know, sir. They sitting here. Like ladies.
I hope it doesn't get smashed. When people say it's obstructing, no? It's
Yeah.
It's okay.
Computer science and work.
Am I audible? Could you ask it close?
It's not working.
No, yes, it is not working, but I'm asking if I'm audible, I can go to this.
No, I think it will turn it off.
Just for the recording.
Can we close the door?
Close it.
This here.
Hello? Oh, yes. Will you change the later? Here we go.
A very good evening, and I am our present here for the faculty and the students present. Today we are back with another interesting and activities class. This evening we are privileged to have among us Dr. Krishna Chaitanya Mukherjee. He is an academic researcher. He has gained research expertise in the field of product development and nutrition for rural MSMEs in India during his stay at the Department of Design, IIT Guwahati, from January 2008 to
Event
2020, and was awarded the PhD for his work on designing and evaluating and economic intervention to minimize risk of musculoskeletal disorders in Indian small and medium-scale cashew nut processing mills. Dr. Dr. Nadampalli has completed his MTech in machine design and BTech in mechanical engineering from Acharya Nagarjuna University. His research interests include product design and development, design for unorganized sector risk analysis and management, and design for rural livelihoods. He published research papers in renowned international journals and presented papers in various effort Scopus indexed for international conferences. He has 5 design registrations granted in India. He also contributes as a reviewer for various international journals of law.
Thank you for the intro. So now, am I audible now? You can hear me. So, welcome to the presentation. So myself, I'm Dr. Chaitanya. Currently, I'm postdoc in IIT Guwahati, Department of Design. I will tell my brief, within 2-3 sentences. Already she has introduced me, but I will tell you more about my work. Okay, so what is the importance of me in this presentation, and what is the purpose of my visit, and what is the topic I'm going to talk. So all these things I will elaborate with a presentation. So currently, I'm working in agriculture. Agriculture in the sense, agriculture and sustainability. So currently, agriculture itself, it is a sustainable field, right? So without agriculture, we will not get the food. So agriculture is there; it is always sustainable. But few systems within the agriculture, they have a problem. So one of the system is pest control. So what is the problem with the pest control means? Can anyone tell me? So in order to control the pest in a crop, normally farmers what kind of method they approach? Pesticides, right? Pesticides. Everyone will agree with this. Mostly, there are 100 farmers, 99% of them they will use the pesticides in order to kill the pests. There is no other alternative. Is it really there is no other alternative? There are some alternatives. There are some alternatives. These alternatives have been there since many generations, but we lost them, during the process. Okay, so these pesticides they came within last 50 years, but agriculture is there since thousands of years, and pests are also there since thousands of years. We are producing the food, we are eating food, but the pesticides they came recently, maybe 50 years back, right? But before these pesticides, what kind of methods they use? That is my research area. I'm not going to talk on that, but it is a different topic I'm going to talk. But it is a brief introduction to relate myself, my work to the Sitara. So you are all from the rural technology students. So I work in rural technology, rural communities, and most of my work it is related to small scale industries. One of the subject you have on small scale industries, and so what kind of frameworks we can develop, what kind of interventions we can develop for the informal sectors in small scale industries. So related to that, my basic background. So every problem it has a multiple solutions, multiple approaches. There is a single problem, but we can approach from different approaches, right? So my approach is design approach. So you can approach, you can say there is engineering approach, you can say there is different approaches. But I have my philosophy of providing a solution is with the help of design approaches. So today I'm going to talk about that. Okay. So how it is helpful to provide solutions to the rural communities of India. I'm not saying I'm providing a solution to the people who are in America or Australia or somewhere, because I'm an Indian. So I have a boundary. This is my personal this thing. Okay. I'm not arguing with you, but as an Indian, I want to know it is a developing country, right? So we have the aims and objectives, 2047. We are trying to see our country as a developed country. So we have our ambitions, we have our objectives for the nation. So within this boundary, I want to see my society with a good opportunities and good economic stature. So in that case, I try to solve the problems, especially the rural problems. 70% of India is rural. No, almost 70%. So there are multiple problems that are existing in the society. At a time, we cannot solve all the problems. There is no mantra for addressing all the problems. Every individual they have their own capacity. In their own capacity, they try to solve the problems with their knowledge, with their approaches, right? So one of the approaches is design approach, and in that line, I provide the solution. So this talk is about that one. So this presentation, I made it for a different purpose. Somehow I did not get the time to modify the presentation. So some of the slides I will skip. Okay, they are not meant to, for this presentation. Some of the slides I will skip. Please mind, don't mind. Huh? I think this is not required. My education, everything already she has said. And my research area, I have said what is my research area, current research area, and past research area. My experiences. So in my, I see in 2000, I think this presentation is for 45 minutes, right? So I will complete within 45 minutes. Around 6:25. Okay. So what is this? I said design approach. Design approach. What is the importance of this? This is one of the design approach. We call it user-centered design. Anyone heard about this user-centered design? Nowadays, design thinking, user-centered design, human-centered design. There are different approaches. You might have heard. I believe you might have heard about these approaches. Anyone know? You know? Uh,
Is that the kind of a design where you introduce natural predators to stop it?
no. This topic is also not related to that. That is what I said. So that was my introduction about current work. Okay, but this is a different topic. Okay, so user-centered design. So this is the one of the design philosophy. Okay. Uh, This is one of the.
I think it's 30.
I can continue. So this is one of the design philosophy. With ISO number 921210. This is the standard which they have given for the standardization also. So what is the basic step? Yes, these are the basic steps. My question is, we are working for the rural communities. We've been working in the Sitara, so we try to provide solutions to the rural people. When I say people, I see a user. When I say people, I see a user. For example, a farmer is there. What kind of product will he use in order to irrigate his land, or in order to do the farming? What kind of tools? There are multiple tools, right? Where in every day, starting from the sickle to tractor, so there are multiple products he use in a everyday life in order to farm his land, right? So so where he is interacting with the product, when he is interacting with the product, will there be any problem for the farmer to use that product? What kind of, for example, he is using a sickle, okay? So grass cutter. In IoT, we see this IoT Guwahati, we see this grass cutter, which is a IC engine one. They have to rotate like this. No, there is a which one rotor at the end with a blade or with a plastic rope. So it will rotate, and it will cut the grass. And his position is like this, and he has to put the machine here like this. Okay. So one person is interacting with the machine or some equipment. Will there be any problem? What kind of problems are there? In this particular task, do you see any problem? Have you seen this task somewhere in your garden or in IIT or somewhere? You know this machine, right? So can you tell me what kind of problem that particular user will face or is facing? One, weight, ergonomics, very right. Ergonomics. Uh, yes, yes. So any other? Safety. Safety. Yes. It is a highly rotating element. Sometimes it will blast. It will come. Yes. They have to have an apron also. But some people they do not wear that. So you are saying what kind of problems? What are these problems? Can I say user problems? The one who is using that equipment, he has a problem with the machine. It is not with the problem of machine, man, or the human, or the user. When he is using a equipment or a tool, he is having some kind of problem. Someone is saying ergonomics, someone is saying safety, someone is saying these are all user problems, right? So in general, any farmer or any person, not only a farmer, not only a rural community, in every person, even if you use this remote also, so it has a specific purpose. You see, there is a bigger button and there is a smaller button. So in order to reduce the human error in operating this projector, they have designed like this. That means they have taken the consideration of user problem, right? So in that case, what I say, considering user requirements is very, very important in order to design a product. Considering user requirements, that can be ergonomic requirements, that can be safety requirements, that can be some other systematic requirements. But how the user is feeling, if he is feeling bad, until unless you know what is the reason for that discomfort or the reason for the problem, you cannot design a perfect product. You all agree with me? Until unless you know the problem, you cannot design. It can be, it can be solution can be from design side or solution can be technology side. Technology in the sense I can say you are providing the 5G technology, right? No, in order to operate the mobile device, that is electronic gadget. So in order to operate that, some network you need to have. So in order to give a proper signal, some electrical engineer is working at the back, right? He is not directly involved with the user. He is not taking the direct, input from the user. He is basing his solutions based on the literature, based on the technology, what kind of technology is there in the society. 3G, 4G, 5G, 6G will also come. That is one approach. And this is the approach where user is directly connected with the designer or the engineer. And in that case, what kind of approach you can take is, this is one of the approach where you connect yourself with the user or the operator and try to understand the problems of the user and try to bring out his expectations about the product. In design we say user is the god. User is the god means no one in the world knows better than him about the product which he is using. No one knows until unless you use that product. You people are youngsters and you use mobiles, right? Right? So because I'm trying to connect you with the user problems. You are a specific group of people. You are a student group, and you are very much familiar with the Facebook, Instagram. All this. Facebook alternates Instagram. So there are users for Facebook. There are users for Instagram. The one who is using Instagram, he likes Instagram more than Facebook, but the purpose is same. The application purpose is same. That means that user has a specific criteria for using the application, and so he adapts to that particular system or particular application. So in the similar way, a operator or the user, he knows his problem about his machine. So as a designer or as a researcher, we try to provide the solution for them because the user cannot, uska problem solution nahi nikalega na, so he does not have a resources to bring solutions out of his knowledge. In that case, he takes support from the people who has expertise in that area. So people who are doing research in that area, people who know that field, they try to bring out user problems and they design the systems for them. So then it will be good for the user and it will be good for the society. Okay, so that is the introduction I would like to say about this research philosophy of design, user-centered design. So coming to the exact topic, so the topic title is enhancing rural handicrafts through user-centered design approach. Enhancing rural handicrafts through user-centered design approach. So basically it talks about handicraft in India. Okay, the sector. I cannot put my step into different sectors at a time. So I have taken handicraft sector. Okay, handicraft sector is very special. So what is the importance of handicraft sector in India? So basically, I will cover these four objectives in this presentation with this topic under this topic. The first one is significance of traditional handicraft sector in India. What is its importance? What is its role? In what way? What is the current status of this particular handicraft sector in India? So that is one point. And the current challenges. What there are multiple challenges. What are the challenges that they face in this sector? That is second objective. And what is the role of this user-centered participatory design to provide solutions for the problems in handicraft sector? And last one, design alternatives for handicraft rural community of India. So here I will take one case study. One case study I will take and I will elaborate how this process goes. Okay, so that is the last objective. So significance, is there any doubt or query? Handicraft sector is not significant in India. The sector is not significant. We can neglect that sector. So if this is the point, how many of you will agree? No need to take care of the handicraft sector. No one can deny, because if you see the significance, there are 2 crore people who are directly involved into this sector. And not only the people, we have exports to also other countries. And if you see the statistics, 6% of the turnover it is contributing for the GDP, Indian GDP, and 34% in terms of exports, and 39 small scale industries, and 8,000 types of handicraft products. These are the numbers which they did not count, but this is the expected numbers, approximate numbers, because you need to note that. So handicraft sector is a majorly informal sector. So there is no regular employment or permanent employment. Okay, these are like casual workers or daily wage workers. For certain years they work in that industry, and if they feel that is not profitable or they could not support their families, they leave that sector and they go for some other jobs. So in that case, I can say this is a sector which is in current situation is at the verge of dying, because machine-made craft is coming and it is giving a high challenge to the traditional handicraft sector. So products from China, different countries, they are dumping into India, and our traditional handicraft sector is struggling. So people are leaving. They could not able to beat the multinational company. These are people who are making products in their home as a group of people, 10 people in a home, 20 people in a home. These are like a cottage industries or small scale industries. People, they work together as a family. So they could not able to beat the multinational company and their product. They do not have design teams. They do not have a supply chains. They do not have international market. But all these challenges they have to face, and its importance is there. So I have given the examples: textile, carpet, also bamboo, different product handicraft sectors are there. So leaving all these challenges, what we discussed, unemployment, supply chain already we have discussed, regional markets, local regional markets, and low salaries, and their wages are not permanent. Depending on their, the owner pays to them. Example, in nearby place there is a goldsmith operation, right? There is one community in nearby Mumbai. They make this goldsmith operations. So their payments are not like regular; they are very low wage. So apart from all these challenges, one of the challenges the industry always face is, or in order to compete with the other industries also, one of the parameters is design and innovation. Every sector requires innovation at certain point of time. Without innovation, that sector cannot last longer or sustainable. Without innovation, every day you have to bring something to the system, right? So if you bring something to the system, if you innovate the system, then only the system will last longer. So this is one of the sector where the design innovation is lacking according to the Dar. That is the scientist who quoted this one. So he is saying, not only he, we can also say, this is a general thing. Without innovation to any sector, the sector will not last longer. Right? Without any update, your mobile application will not run, or your mobile device will not run. There is a regular update, right? So like that, some innovation is required consistently throughout the process for any sector. So in this sector, it is very, very vital. In this sector, it is very, very vital, because these are the people who are not aware of any technology. These are the people who are not well educated. So these are the people not very much relevant with the technology. So in that case, obviously, some innovation lack is there. So who can fill that area, right? So who can fill that area? So this is one base parameter which I would like to take further and explain. So design for rural, why can't we say, my proposal is, there are technology innovations, I agree. At the same time, we also need to see user, and I say design alternatives also can be a one solution. Okay, there are multiple solutions. One solution can be a design solution. Okay, that is what my proposal is. And design for rural brings design thinking and problem solving process of design to address a variety of contemporary problems in rural community. So what is the basic objective means? To meet the rural needs. A variety of every rural community, they have a separate segment of needs. So what are the needs? What are the needs of that particular community? So in order to address them, so social, cultural, technological, and environmental issues, to promote sustainable economic development for the community, and help rural communities to enhance their quality of life. So these are the basic objectives. Then how to address these, how to meet these challenges, how to address the unmet needs of these rural communities. So how to meet these needs means, so until unless you engage with the user, you cannot know, you will not know what is the user requirement. So this is one of the approach where participatory design is at the center or at the core, and with a scope of requirement analysis, that means user requirements, evaluation and analysis, whatever the product you do, that is a evaluation and analysis, and the final design solution, and prototypical design solutions. There is not one single solution. There are multiple solutions for one particular design. So I will show you what exactly I mean. I will show you in a case study. Okay, please stay with me. So this is what the core of user-centered design. So with this approach, can we provide any solution? With this approach, can we provide any solution to the handicraft sector? Okay. So I'm going to take one case study, which is a small village called Hazo in Assam state in India. So the specialty of this Hazo is it is a brass metal handicraft cluster. There are few brass metal handicraft clusters in Assam. One of the cluster is Hazo and Chaigaon, Silchar. So these are the other clusters. So I have conducted a case study in Hazur. So this is based on a field study. So this is not from the literature. So this is you can identify the problems from the literature, right? So the way you find the problems or identify the problems or research gaps. One can be a field study directly, engage with the users, or through literature. Or literature, if you are working in a signal processing or 5G technology, through literature, what people have already done. So what can be done? What can be, how you can advance the technology that can be done through literature. But these kind of fields, these are the unknown problem areas. Until unless you meet the user, you will never know the problem. But it is not like you do not meet and there is no problem. So until you have to meet, then only if you what is the if you go to outside outside this campus, you will immediately see one problem. What is that? You step out of this IIT campus, that main gate, so you will see one problem. Huh? Then have you found this problem in literature? So this is what you observe, right? So this is one of the approach. I believe for a rural, if you are until unless you are a farmer and you meet the farmer, you will not know the problem, right? So I am a person. I have to identify the problems, from the talking to the people, identifying the problem. I may not address all the problems what I see. There is a traffic problem I cannot address. Okay, but the one who is working in that, he can address. If I take that area as my research area, I want to address the area I want to address, I will address. But so the people who are really interested, they find the problems in the society by observing them. So सोसाइटी को आप अच्छी तरह से समझ लीजिए. उन लोगों को you are a young generation, you are a student, you are in an IIT, prestigious institution. Okay, so your role is to provide the solutions to the society, right? Your role is to provide solutions to the society. Getting a job is one thing, that is one basic objective, but providing solutions out of your knowledge, that is also a major or prime right objective of any student group, right? So I will try to explain this case study, highlighting the user-centered design. So through a field study, I have identified this problem. My supervisor told me, you go there, Hazu is there, 30 kilometers away from IIT Guwahati. So you see and you let me know, you analyze the situation. So you tell me. So many people, not only me, before me also, people went and they did something. Okay, they have provided their own observations. So from the field study, I understood there is a sequential process for this handicraft. So the Kalash, that product is called Kalash. Kalash means, what is the importance of this Kalash means, it is a traditional handicraft. If someone is getting married in Assam, this Kalash is given as a present, as a gift. So it is priceless. It is not a gold, it is a brass only. But in that context, when someone is presenting, so it has a lot of value. So they see it, that has a tradition also. Since many thousands of years, they have a tradition. Okay, so that is the importance of this Kalash. But if you give in this form, no one will take. You see, this is a black Kalash, so that means it is not completely polished. Polishing operation is one of the operation where the beauty of this Kalash will come out. When you do a proper polishing, the beauty of the Kalash will come out, and the price will also increase. Okay, this one costs 1,000 rupees. 1 kg weighs, kata laga ke isko bech dega in this form. But if it is polished, at least 2,000 rupees they will sell after polishing. The activity what they are doing, finishing activity, it is giving the it is raising the price of that particular product. So that is the importance of polishing. If you see in a real scenario, it looks like a gold. Brass, it has a appearance like a gold, right? So it looks like a gold. It is very beautiful. So that is why people they admire in Assam, and they have a tradition also. So this Kalash, what is the exact problem is, in order to do the polishing, this is the context. Do you see any problem with this context in this scenario? What is the problem? Can anyone observe and tell me? So you can see the scenario here also. So do you see any problem? Manually they are working with bare hands. Yes, yes. You see the scenario, and you tell me what you understood. What kind of observation you know? Yes, yes. It is rotating. Yes. That is one problem. I will tell you the context. You simply say showing the picture, asking question may not be appropriate. Also, I will tell you the context. So this is the person, and this is the spindle. This is the wooden spindle. What this person will do by sitting like this, he will do like this. So that spindle will rotate clockwise direction and anti-clockwise direction, depending on the rope length. He is using a rope, so depending on the rope and the circumference of the particular spindle, the RPM will to back and forth. So that is the work of this particular person. And this person, he has in mechanical workshop, you have a file, mechanical file. So that has been converted into a sharp tool. So mechanical file will be flat, but these people they bent it like this. Mechanical file only. Okay. So at this sharp tip, he is holding. This person is holding like this. Okay. And it is not possible to hold with one hand, so you have to use one foot. This portion against this hand, and this hand, second hand in support of this one. Until unless he put all these three elements, three body segments, he cannot control the speed, and he cannot he cannot achieve the perfect finishing. He has to remove he has to chip that metal. The black portion is there. He has to chip that metal. So this is the task. So what is the problem? You said manually they are working with hands. You see any problem? Labor intensive work. I take that. Very inefficient. There is one more inefficient. I can also say one more point. Anyone can guess. Drudgery is one. Long time is also one more is there. That is also one point. One more point is there. You see, there are two people. Can anyone predict? Safety is one point. I agree. Quality also I agree. Yes. One more point. No. This is only male activity in that area. I will tell you productivity. So there are two people who are working. If it is done by one person, two people can produce two colors at a time. Na? For example, they are taking 10 minutes to polish. Two people they are taking 10 minutes to polish one color. So if it is done by one person, within 10 minutes they can produce two. Within 10 minutes, two people, he produces one, he produces one. Understood? No, that is what I'm going to say. This is not the process they will adopt. So I have changed that product, that process. So that I'm going to tell you. So one of the problem is productivity. So ultimately they have to achieve a high productivity. But they polish 10 colors means one color is 25 rupees labor. So they will get over 250 rupees, right? Okay. So they have to see this parameter which is connected with the productivity. Ultimately, at the end of the day, how many colors they are polishing. That is a huge parameter for them. They can spare their health, they can spare their ergonomics, safety, efficiency. All these parameters they spare, and they go for the productivity, right? So they even though they have a pain, even though they have a safety issue, they will go for high production. So that is one of the issue I have identified. So thank you for helping me to identify the problem. Your observations are pretty good, right? Very nice. So, but I try to quantify whatever the safety issues you are highlighting. So I try to quantify with a software simulation. So here the simulation is human modeling. So with this human modeling, I try to quantify the human drudgery with a musculoskeletal risk. What is the musculoskeletal risk? The highlighted portions, the red color portions are all highly risky. Okay, so that is what the simulation said. So after that, I try to do the market analysis. What are the existing, what are the existing products are already available. So until unless I know what is the existing solution, I cannot design a better solution. So that is my criteria. So I went for a field study. I talked to the people who are in that area, and in the introduction, I said what is the importance of bringing a user requirements. So understanding the user requirement plays a huge role in the product design. So ultimately, the product, if the product is succeeded in the market, that the credit goes to the user requirements. The one in design, there is one saying, people may agree or may not agree. There are 100 designers, but only one will succeed. But there are 100 engineers, 99 will succeed. So why there is a problem is, when you are a designer, identify the exact need of the user. Until unless you travel with them for a certain duration, they will not open their mouth. If you directly ask them, भैया तुम कितना बाहर एक दुकान है, भैया तुम कितना कमाते हो एक दिन में? Do you think they will tell you the answer, exact answer? They will say 100 rupees, 200 rupees. Do you think is it exact answer? But you go to that dukan for 10 days, 20 days, you make a rapport with that person, and your rapport builds up with that person, and there is a trust, and he will tell you, "Bhaiya, mera problem." Not only one single problem, many problems he tried to elaborate, right? So that is what it is required to know. There are many qualitative design methods where designers they apply, and the user research, they apply and they bring out the user requirements in order to make a better product. In order to make a product, ultimately the goal is to make a product, but to make a better product. So this is the importance of user requirement analysis, which I have done. A few I have shown. So these are the concept generations, multiple ideations. It is required. Concepts can be generated. I have shown only 4, but I have developed more than 50 concepts. But I have done CAD modeling for 4. So these are the highlighted versions of different concepts, and the final concept selected. So what is the criteria means? I have used morphological chart for generating the concepts. So these are concepts which are developed using morphological charts, and this is the concept which is selected based on a pub chart. So where there is a quantitative number, I ask the user, do you like this design? Do you like this design? Because ultimately we are designing for the user. So until unless their acceptance, we cannot go further. So taking a opinion in the rating scale. After that, the highest number which it is received. So this concept is the final concept. That means many of the people in that location, in that area, they have accepted. भैया ये अच्छा है, हमको अच्छा लग रहा है. So then after that, with that permission, with that acceptance, I went for a simulation. How it is showing, what is the problem of that drudgery is solved or not. So I have cross checked, and after that I went for a product design. So this is the basic primary model. So here you can see. You tell me now. So existing one you have seen. So in this one, what is your observation? You can criticize or you can give positive or negative feedback, so that I will know what is it. Your opinion is very honest. You tell me. You have seen the existing one. I will tell you how it is operated. So this person is sitting on a chair, and there is a pedal to rotate the wheel in one single direction. It will rotate, and there is a blade, and there is a grinder to grind the tool, and there is a support for the hand. So he can support his hands. Okay, so he is supporting, and there is a tool where he can polish. So this is polishing. So it is only one single person. This is the entire activity. So do you see any betterment in the design? I'm not saying 100%, but at least 1% to you upload agree karega na? Right? So this is what the modification which the people also like. So what is the process I have followed for this one? What is the process I have followed? Starting from context. What is the context? Problem identification, user requirements, conceptualization, different concepts, selecting a concept, finalizing a concept, implementing a concept. all these steps, it includes user-centered design. That is what I have shown. I will come to that. No, still presentation is there and the 5 minutes are there. Okay, I will come to that. Yes. Let me complete and I will address you. Okay. So this is what the approach. But there is one more. No, this is not the end point. This is not the end point. There is no end point. We say in research there is only a comma. There is no full stop. You develop a new technology, and next day someone will come and start from the same position. So you cannot put full stop. मेरा PhD हो गया है, full stop. No one will work after me. So it is not like that. Everywhere there is a comma in research. So for me, for this also, it applies. So what is I interacted with many experts in the field. Everyone, with this work I presented in one of the conference, research into international conference or research into design. I got in that conference during that time I got a best paper presentation award also. People they praised me for this work, but they also posted a question: what is the current status? So it is in the lab only. It is not in the field. I went to field, I have developed a solution, I have provided a solution. But is it really existing in the field? Means that question is a question. Now currently also. So, so what is the solution means? So there is a huge research gap which is existing, in the most of the fields, lab-based, outcomes. So user-centered design, it works for developing a product, but further what we need to do is it should be adaptation centered design. It is not like you developed one, but the person who is using that, he has to adapt to that particular technology or the particular tool. So most of the academicians, including me, so we have some academic criteria we have to satisfy. So after satisfying that academic criteria, our role is ending. But bringing into the real field, bringing it to the offering the solution to the exact society where brought the problem, where you have identified the problem. So that is there is a huge research gap, or there is a I can also say there is a huge scope. So further need to be explored. So that is what I propose, and that is what I experience also. So ultimately, design, technology, and management, a mix of three different domains, the culmination of majorly three different domains, it will contribute for sustainable innovations. Okay, that is what the innovation is required for the handicraft sector. Okay, so in this case, productivity will come so that the economical capacity will increase, right? So environmental, so the way the polishing, the drudgery, that kind of condition can be reduced. And the social may not be a huge role in this project, but environmental and economical may play a huge role in this. Okay, so that is what So there is one video. If time allows, I will show you. It is 6:20. So you are asking me questions. Please ask me, then I will address. And if there is time, I will show you a documentary how the entire process has been done. There is a 9-minute video. If the time permits, I will show you and ask me your question.
Use the mic, please. We can hear you.
And the question is, in the entire design, did you make the participatory design approach that you mentioned? So it was user-centered and participatory. Exactly.
So user is the center. Okay. So participatory design is a design where the involvement of user is throughout the process. So in the presentation, I did not highlight this point. So starting from the user requirements, not from the problem identification. Problem identified to मैंने किया था because my observation was there is a problem. But once the user requirements analysis, user requirement capturing started, since then to the end of the product where I have developed the physical mock-up. Okay, one of the what is the importance of this participant design also I will tell you. So there is one bench, right? Then one mm, here you can see one platform to rest their arms. This is not an idea. I did not know. I developed a machine like this, but I don't know they require a platform for that. This is not collected during the requirement analysis. This point was not there during the requirement analysis. Once the product is developed, I brought them, the community leader, I brought them to the IIT Guwahati lab. So I showed them. Then he tested that one and he said, "Bhaiya, ये नहीं तो चलेगा, ये नहीं चलेगा." Then I said, "What is the problem is हम हाथ कहाँ पे रखना है? Sitting में हमको ये support आ रहा है, but बैठ के कैसे करेंगे? So we need a support for this." Then that the table came. So throughout the process, not only final process, not only the beginning process, throughout the process, the user is involved. The user has a participation, significant participation. So that is why it is a participatory design. Okay.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Today I would like to know about the overall cost of this product.
Working the mic on.
So, so overall cost of this product and like, have you done any break-even analysis of like cost?
Overall cost, which I have spent from my fellowship, was 25,000 during that time. Okay, 25,000, and this is the first prototype. So there were some trial and error methods. So the mechanism which I have developed, it was a trial and error method. Before this one, there was one more mechanical leverage mechanism, 4-bar leverage mechanism, which was not working. So trial and error method. So the cost has rise to 25,000. I was expecting it to around 15,000. That was my budget for the machine, but it has exceeded with a trial and error basis. And every time user say NHLA, I have to consider them. I cannot ignore them. So cost is 25,000. Break-even analysis I did not do, and if it is get implemented in the field, I would have done that break-even analysis because it is not implemented in the field. So I did not do that also.
Like one product is like how much product will be added? How much product will be added and so sort of theoretical.
As far as my calculations, no, that is what I did not do. So actually, there are multiple constraints to my, this. I may say, I think. So this is not my PhD or postdoc work. It is a coursework. No, during my PhD. One of the course I have taken under Dr. Swati Park, who was my supervisor. So within 4 months I have to complete. So developing the product, traveling with the user, it has taken. And after that, I did not get a chance to work with the people. I started my PhD work because I have an academic requirement. So this segment I did not consider, but in future I will take. In future I will take.
I just want to know, sir, so what about the productivity increased by this?
Yes, productivity has increased.
How much? And if
You see from the design itself, one person is making one color. No, directly, There, two persons are making one color. Okay, you take the time to polish the color as 10 minutes also. So in this case, one person 10 minutes means one color. So in that case, 10 minutes, two person. Okay, automatically the productivity has increased. Yes. And yes. I will tell you one more point. If anyone has any question, after that I will.
Anyone?
So just relate.
Yeah. So just follow up on the same question. So do you also see demand also increasing proportionally? When you say that you can increase productivity, the demand is also going to increase proportionally. Because it all depends on that, right? It's
Yes, sir.
about supply and demand.
Yes, supply and demand with that line, yes, proportionally it will increase. Because people they expect more productivity means there is a huge demand in the market. so it will be proportional.
And there is nothing off the shelf available in India where people can use these machine tools, automatic ones. And as we move towards more
Yes, sir.
high-end technologies, AI and all that,
Yes,
you see that such kind of tools, maybe large scale things are available, not at small scale.
yes, sir. So this is what the point I was going to tell. So thank you for raising the question. So automation is already there now. You can put a motor. Why he has to pedal? You can put a electrical motor, right? This is a simple, right? But automation is not allowed in this sector. They cannot afford, not allowed. I need to change the word. It is not affordable. In Assam, daytime there is no power. It is not a continuous power like we are, within a community in IIT, 24 hours we have power. But Northeast, it is not the condition. In the rural areas, night time power cut, daytime power cut. So if it is a daytime power cut, they cannot run the machine. In one of the slide, I have shown these products. So this is the machine which is made by IIT Guwahati only from mechanical department. It is in dusty condition because they are not using because of the power issue. And it is a high rotating RP, it is a motorized, this is the motor. So this is the guard for the motor. So in that case, the RPM of that particular mandrel, it is very high. In manual where I have made, the RPM is around 500 revolutions per minute. But in that machine, it is more than 1000. So that is a half HP motor. So 1100 to 1200 RPM with a load also 1000 RPM is there. Then they are applying the force also. So in that case, वो लोगों का डर लग गया है वो भैया ये लगाने से मुंह पे लग जाएगा. So that is the failure. That is what the when I was doing the market study, I met the people who made this. This is also this is our lab that is also done by some other lab in the IIT Guwahati. I have talked to them. So why they are not using this automated or motorized things means this is the problem, power cut and safety issues, okay, where they could not able to control properly. Now, when you are using a mop stick also, you have to control now, but you are doing something and it is doing some other thing, there is no meaning, right? So this is the existing problem with the existing machines, and based on that I developed it. Any?
So we can reduce basically by
Yes, you can reduce, but they found that RPM is required. Gearbox लगाने से हो जाएगा. So whatever the RPM required, you can achieve. But the one who proposed, he said in order to polish perfectly, this RPM is required. In lathe machine, and certain RPM you require, right? Then only the cutting will happen. Okay, so mechanical engineering there is a principle, lathe operation, lathe principle का जो है वही apply किया था. But in the real field, people they are not habituated. You are a workshop person. You have operated lathe for in the industry for 10 years. If you are given the new lathe machine, also confidently you can operate. But these people, since they brought up, they do not see these kind of technologies. Even though they are capable of operating, they will not. Okay, they some fear is there. Okay, and any other question?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
In your presentation,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You listed some other areas of handicrafts that perhaps need our attention. I would be curious to understand, would you be able to make some general observations, keeping in mind various other handicraft sectors, as to the nature of challenges that we face in order to be able to address issues of product development and livelihood and so on. Would you from here go on to maybe name some other handicraft sectors and point out some broad, more general observations about the nature of challenges that the handicraft sector faces? Would I communicate my
Yes,
question
sir.
to you?
So this is one of the handicraft sector which I have approached and which I have dealt with. There are different handicraft sector. Making a in Tamil Nadu, in Alaya, in Alaya means temple. So at the main darwaza, main entrance, against a stone carving, there is a metal plate. So metal that can be silver or gold. So precisely molding that metal into the shape behind that on the stone, that is very tedious operation, and that is one of the well-known craft. And in, there is one more craft called dokra, which is more populated in Jharkhand, West Bengal, some parts of Telangana. So this is a tribal art, tribal handicraft. Only tribal people can make. It is a investment cast molding. So they make some figures of Bhagavan or nature, some animals, So they make a beautiful elements out of their tradition. So that is also one of the craft where they face, because it is a casting process, and metal fumes also they have to inhale, and they don't know, and wax, they have to make. So there are also some problems, some challenges. They are also existing, sir. So there are these are the few things, few handicrafts.
So there is user-centered design actually.
Uh-huh.
User will be participating in the whole process.
Yes.
So the feedbacks are keep changing in the process. They
Uh-huh.
feedbacks. And their feedbacks are keep changing the.
Yes. Yes.
So how you gonna adjust the, or how you gonna filter those feedbacks?
Yes.
That is very user friendly.
Yes.
Design.
Yes. Yes. This is a right question. So every time the user mind will change. Today,
Yeah, user is the main
yes, yes,
So as a designer point of view, how you take those feedbacks and how you filter those feedbacks?
yes, yes. And user mentality, every day it changes. The first day you ask about the problem. Okay, first day you ask about the problem, he will say something, and the next day you provide a solution and you ask the problem, he will say something else, and your objectives and aims are changing. First day, whatever he said, the same person, the same interaction happened. When there is no solution to his problem, he said something, and you are a very sincere person, and you note down and you record and everything. You started analyzing that, and after that, you made something and you brought something and showed something to him, and he said something else. He even denied. Yesterday I said like that because this is very interesting to him. No, no, भैया मैंने ऐसा नहीं बोला. ये क्या है? Then he will say. So in this case, as a designer, what you have to do means this is exactly a real problem. As a designer, you have to take a chance. You have to take a decision. So it is not like user wants. For example, if technically, if I say there is a IC engine piston. Piston is usually cylindrical shape. Cylindrical shape. So one user said, I want a cone shape. I want a cone shape. So because user is not well educated, he does not know the technicality behind that thing. But you are the person who knows about these technicalities. So when the user says something which is not achievable, you have to take a decision to progress further. Okay? So in that case, you may not satisfy his criteria. He wants only the conical piston only, but it is not possible. But at one stage, you can convince him, and as a person who is working in that area, as a support, as a person who is offering solution to his problem. So with that sentiment, with that trust, you can convince him. भैया पिस्टन ऐसा कौन सी में नहीं चलेगा क्योंकि ऐसा ऐसा है. You make it for formula and you say some theory, नहीं चलेगा. You explain it. He may not 100% understood, but he will understand overall. ये नहीं तो चलेगा. Then he will change his attitude. But ultimately, as a designer, you have to take the decision in that condition. You have to take decision. Okay.
So design for manufacturing.
Design for manufacture.
So that's the concept you are talking about.
No, I just make an example like that. In architecture.
And you have the color. Huh? You got the color.
So, what will happen if the mass of this, what you can say, handicraft item is more? Whatever is the size and mass is there. What happens if the mass is more? Will your setup continue to work equally with equal efficiency? Or what are the limitations that you offer?
So if the demand is more,
Not
One liter versus 5 liter colors.
yes,
Five
size
liter
is
or
different
maybe in the current capacity, if it is of X kg, maybe this is to 1.5x or 2x.
yes, sir.
Then will the setup still function?
Yes, sir. Actually, they have three different standards. One is
I want the answer as a mechanical engineer.
So it is not the calash which is used for carrying water. How many liters we are carrying? So this is the a decorative piece or a ceremonial piece which is offered as a present to the people. So functionality is not there. How many liters it will carry? But depending on the size of the calash, people they feel pride. If you give a, there are three standards, sir. So in this setup, 18 inches, 25 inches, and 30 inches. 30-inch kalash, if you present to someone, they will feel that.
My question is, what will happen if the weight of this handicraft product increases? Will your setup still function equally efficiently? If not, what are the challenges do you anticipate?
No, it will function, sir.
You are technical.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understood your question. So, so this is the length, spindle, headstock to tailstock, the distance which I have given. So it is accommodating the maximum colors that they are producing in that particular area. So technically, it is going to accommodate that to that maximum size. And the weight of that particular kalash also, depending on the size, the weight is also proportionally increasing. So even the bigger kalash weighing certain amount of weight, it can also be rotated with this mechanism. Even the weight is increasing, a bit, because there is no proper way. Whatever the sheet metal they got, they make it. So they do not exactly measure, काटा पे लगा के कितना weight है, ऐसा नहीं बनाता है वो लोग. What they exactly do, they make it, and the weight is ranging between this and this. There is no proper weight. If I make a 10 different colors, 10 different colors will make a different 10 different weights. One is 10 kg, 10.5 kg, 9.5 kg, like that. So even the kalashi is weighing more than the usual. This machine will work, sir.
This is a new field design. Just out of curiosity, I would like to know. You said you got some 10 or 50 odd design concepts or ideas before you finalize that this is the one that you want to build as a prototype. So, what was the journey from ideation to creating a prototype? How did you decide out of those 50, 49 are not going to work and this one is what you want to build? And how far is the role of softwares and soft tools in terms of this journey of designing and finalizing the prototype?
Yes, sir. Generating concepts, it is a very hectic task, sir. It is very hectic task. So you multiple times we are interacting with the user. Multiple times you change the design. First day you show the design, and they say we elaborate. We need to, as a designer, I have to say, no, your machine is working like this. This concept will work like this. And in terms of working principle, in terms of size and dimensions, I try to elaborate with the concept. And people they say you have to modification karna, wahan to modification karna. So in that process, the concepts went to 50. I could not exactly say 50. I forgot also. Some concepts they came. So out of those concepts, I have shown 4. So that those were the concepts which they somehow they like. Top 4. If you give a rating, top 4 like that. And according to the soft tools,
But when you say top 4, how many users you engaged with, and
yes,
how many of them gave feedback, and based on that you eliminated remaining?
yes, sir.
So,
Yes.
can you elaborate, like, what was this number of participants?
Yes, sir. The number was 30, sir.
30
Now, 30
users you
parties.
engaged.
Yes, 30 users. 30 users I engaged. Actually, this is a small cluster. Silchar and Chaigaon in Assam, they are the big clusters for the colors making. So this is a Muslim part where nearly 500 people are working. Within that 500, polishing operation, polishing expert, they say everyone cannot do this operation. So the one who is experienced in that task, if I count, almost 100 people were there. This is I got from the one of the leader, which means entire village take leader. So 100 people. Out of 100 people, I took a sample of 30. And there is also one limitation, sir. Taking huge number of sample will proportionally increase the time taken for the project, which I could not, within a stipulated time or academic, I could not able to engage. But 30 people I have taken because starting from 30, I have engaged until the project finishes. 30 people I have taken. So likewise, the project, it emerges, into further stages.
What about the role of tools and software and tools?
Sir, in this case, I have used CATIA software. There is a ergonomic analysis module within the CATIA software, one of the module. So because I want to analyze the drudgery, so in that case, digital human modeling tool I have used, I have applied, and from that tool, I got this scores. This body is at the same time. I have collected a questionnaire data by asking Nordic musculoskeletal questionnaire with a rating scale I have used, and I try to correlate these two tools, whatever the simulation tool is saying and whatever the questionnaire tool is saying. Is it matching or not? So in both of the tools, one parameter was common, that is back pain. So when I asked the users also, they said back pain, and the simulation tool also it reflected that back pain is having a high score, that is high risk. So correlation also I have done with the help of software. Hi, sir.
Hi. So, because we are talking about user-centered design, just imagine this scenario. Because earlier, the way they are practicing this particular craft, and you said not everybody engages in polishing these colors. So the process which they are following traditionally, it requires certain practice, and that makes it difficult, and only few people can do it.
Yes, sir.
Once you make it like this, which looks easier, and then anybody can do it. So the whole dynamics changes. Does this come under user-centric design? I just would like to know your response.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the question, sir. And nice to see you after a long time, sir. So, yes, sir. So, this machine anyone can do with the practice. Not only this machine, the existing one also. If someone practices for a certain duration, they can also do. So, learning this skill to do this operation, it is there is no limitation for as far as the person is concerned. So there is no limitation. Anyone can do with the existing one or the new one also. But the one is how much you have to know. What is the practice? What is the skill you have gained in that task? That only matters. So,
So forget this object. What I want to say is, in terms of user-centric design,
yes,
does this aspect comes into user-centric design that it's not about what product we are making, but because we have developed certain skills and only a certain community can do certain things. When we try to create or make design process simpler, generalize, it's good for these people, but at the same time there is a risk that that exclusiveness they loses. So how do you capture, or is it possible to capture that in user-centric design?
yes, sir. Thank you for the question. So there is no limitation. Whatever the design we do it for the user. In this case, I said a handicraft user. But it does not mean whatever the user-centered design we have done, it is only limited to particular group. So the design outcome can be general. In this case, the outcome is very general. So it is not limited to one particular group because it is made for one group. Anyone can do. And user-centered design, it does not have a limitation for the users. User in the sense it is a general word which I am using. In this case, handicraft workers. But if someone else is there also, user-centered design will allow the person to use that product without any limitation. Because ultimately it is serving the purpose of user, irrespective of their experiences or practices. Okay, this is the.
So my question is a little different. So when did you do this work? Which year?
In 2018, sir.
It's almost 7 years.
Huh.
And anybody tried taking it to commercial level?
Sir, no, sir.
No.
So,
And this is a classical problem with innovations. You talked about innovation initially, and now you go to different institutions, you will find hundreds of designs, hundreds of prototypes. After all those checks and balances, they have optimized that, but it doesn't go to the field. It just thought the whole purpose
yes, sir.
or attempt that you have made or others have made. So,
Yes.
are you willing to take these kind of work forward? Somebody should be able to use
Yes.
it at mass scale, or you want to just stop at design level itself?
Sir, what I believe strongly, so these innovations they should not limit to lab. They should not these innovations or these designs they should go into the field.
So
So that I support that.
They
So who
researchers.
research they should go. These innovations must go into the field.
Innovations.
These designs must go into the field, but someone has to facilitate. So as a research scholar, during that time my role was only research scholar, coursework that thing. But after completing my PhD, this is my real scenario. Whatever the cashew nut sheller I have developed, there is a requirement from the users to make certain number and give it to them. So I could not able to do even this machine. So because I'm depending on the fellowship, I could not spend 25,000, 1 lakh for giving it to them. So but I have tried one of these innovation. I have given in the Gandhian GY, in order to attract some people, look into this design, so that I can people who are interested in this design, they can see, they can, if they are really interested, they can approach me. So that kind of attempts I have done. I have shown, including my supervisor's party part, and we have done it. And we are always ready to give it to the people freely. But the constraint was cost. One parameter is cost, which they could not able to bear. But people who are like startups, some people they do startups. Some people, some NGOs, or some incubation centers. These kind of institutions, if they adopt these kind of innovations, some support will come to the user to adapt them, sir. So in this case, my attempts were there as far as my work is concerned, along with my supervisors, I have done. But on the other side, no, I need to check, and I'm consistently trying for getting people who are who can make an offer to the people, and whatever they want to take, they can take. Okay, like that I'm trying, sir.
Are there any other questions? So if not, let us give a big hand and thanks to It was nice to hear about your journey of this prototype building, and wish you all the best for your future.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And thank you for giving me this opportunity and nice interaction with the students and faculty of Satara. And in future, I look forward for the positive thing. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
This is empty. This is Sitara's camera.